PCA at second. There goes PCA. Throw down to third. And it gets away. Here it comes. PCA is in. And the Cubs win it.
An improbable win for the Cubs as Pete Crow-Armstrong, bottom of the 11th inning off Brendan Little, steals third. The throw gets past the third baseman, and who scores but MVP. The Cubs take this one 3-2 after being down 2-0 in the bottom of the ninth. An absolutely electric game. JD said the Cubs' probability of winning this one was around 6% in the bottom of the ninth, but that did not matter as they now move to 67-49, one of the better records in all of baseball. As we welcome you into Cubs Postgame Live here inside our studios, where, as always, presented by Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Lance Brozdowski alongside Cliff Floyd. Cliff, the feeling of a walk-off, man. I got to imagine that rides into something like a happy flight they're about to have to Kansas City.
Absolutely. It's the best feeling you can possibly have, especially on a tough day when you're facing one of the best pitchers, in the sport, and Dylan Cease. Nothing was going right. They had a couple of knocks here and there throughout the game. But when you talk about the excitement of the extra inning and how it goes about and how it comes about, man, this is why the game for me is in the right direction. When you think about like how you put that guy on second, and then you have some different scenarios happen where you're going, well, maybe you should bunt if you Nico earlier in the 10th, right? Maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. I just feel like when Pete's up there, we were sitting there hoping like, please don't get hit by the ball. You're the best at bat we have right now.
Don't challenge.
In this situation, so don't get hit. And he comes over with the big knock.
Yeah, let's take a look. So 11th inning right here. Again, right, leads it off, single through the middle. You got Carson Kelly rounding third, Miles Straw in center. Throw at the plate.
Aggressive send, though, Lance.
It's an aggressive send. I don't mind it. Do you like it? What do you think?
I just feel like with Carson in that situation, I want 3 chances to win the game. We know Carson's not fast. He did get a good jump, but that was a really good throw.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Straw.
So give him credit out there. But look at the jump at second base and the wherewithal with the head to know that ball got past Josh Smith over there at third, and he scores the winning run. That's why he is a difference maker. He's a different type of player, generational type talent. He knows what he has to do in that situation. He got a great jump. And when you think about Brendan Little on the mound, I'm saying to myself, you don't think he's taking off? He has a little secondary before the pitch is even thrown. So he's going.
Quentin Barry, too, hyped up third base coach. I was impressed, too, how quickly he read that ball was far enough behind the third baseman for him to move home. Like, this is an instant reaction. But he looks, he sees the ball, he's gone.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He sees him leave his feet. He knows that ball, he looks to his right. Boom. When he looks down the line and sees that ball hits the ground, he's taking off. His speed's going to take over. But when you think about the scenario, if you look at the shortstop, he was behind him. So, and I guess Pete's thing is, most relievers are not willing to make that throw, are not willing to step off and make that throw, that turnaround throw to second base, and he says, listen, I'm going. And so all these little things you can't teach. We talk about IQ all the time. His IQ is off the charts. Like just knowing those little tendencies of certain dudes. Even though the shortstop is patting the glove behind him, boom, 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 I'm here. He's like, yeah, he's not throwing. You there, but he ain't throwing to you.
Absolutely. I mean, that inning was Pete Crow-Armstrong in a nutshell.
Period.
It's a clutch hit, not his fault on the throw home. Like, again, hat tip to Miles Straw. Then he steals. We saw him make a couple defensive plays in this game. This entire last 4 days where they swept the Dodgers and now they take this kind of oddball makeup game against the Blue Jays, he has shown that he is the MVP of the National League. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I agree with the fact that, it's been tough because Ohtani has been pitching and hitting, right? Sure. So it's been tough for a long time to put his name in the conversation. And he had to earn this spot. He had to do some things throughout the season to sort of right himself, to get him away from being, just a swinger, right? I mean, we see the boys walking in, big wins.
Love that shot. It's a cool
shot. You also see the boys from the bullpen who have done a terrific job of holding down the fort and keeping them in this ball game when it was a tough offensive day for them. But back to P. Will Crick, Lance, when you think about him and putting his handprint on the game, the one thing you look at is the confidence, but also the maturity. And he understands where he's at right now. Like it's not about the contract, trying to live up to that. It's about him saying, whatever I was doing early on, it just wasn't working. And I felt myself going backwards. And when you have that type of talent, it only can go forward because it's too good to kind of be neutralized. So for him to take that next step, he had to break that swing completely down he had and get himself in this spot where now he can do some things where we're seeing him get that MVP type nod.
And I'll never forget, too, back spring training, I think this was either 22 or 23, Crow-Armstrong said the most uncomfortable pitcher that he faced in spring was Brendan Little. So the evolution of him as a hitter, we saw it. I feel like we've seen it so many times this year where he does something where you're like, man, I don't think Pete from 24, Pete from 25 would have done that. And that, I think, just encapsulates how much he's grown.
Right, and I mean, you're absolutely right. And real quick, just when you let him get into it and bat, you're going to lose. Like, right, he had a couple swings where it was like, out in front, right shoulder's going, and then he goes, oh, I got one foul ball. He felt good, and then boom, got the knock up the middle.
No doubt. Unbelievable win here. We're breaking it all down on Cubs Postgame Live for you. After the break, we'll have some sound from Craig Counsell and some of the other guys as they head out for a happy flight to Kansas City. The hero, one of the heroes, we got multiple heroes tonight. Crow-Armstrong sliding across home, Alex Bregman tying it in the ninth. We'll see you in a second.